There's that music again. Welcome back to Shiloh Creek, little ones. And if it's your very first time down here by the water, come settle in close beside me. There's plenty of room.
Old Timber! Old Timber! Guess what? There's a visitor on the path. A bristly one, with a little bundle on a stick.
Ha! There's Bongo, fast as ever with the news. A bristly one with a bundle on a stick. Well now, I think I know exactly who that is. Hold that thought, little bear. Let me ask you something first. Did you ever feel so sure you knew something, really, truly certain, and then somebody small showed you there was a little more to it than you thought? It can wobble a fellow, especially a fellow who's used to knowing things. Here's the wonderful thing, little ones. Even the wise ones are still small next to God, and God made us to keep learning right to the end of our days. So I'll tell you about the morning the oldest, surest fellow at this creek learned a brand new thing. That fellow was me. The Bible's got a warm little line about it. We'll come to it by the water. Now this happened on a soft grey morning, the kind that's good for sitting and listening. And up the path, quiet and bristly and dusty from the road, came somebody we hadn't seen in a while. My old heart lifted right up. Well, would you look at that? Bramble's back.
It's the prickly fella from before. Hi, Bramble. Did you bring a story? Tell me you brought a story. You always bring a story.
I might have one or two. They're light. I never could carry much else.
Bramble? Okay. Quick question, real quick. How far are the borderlands? In wing beats, roughly. I'll take a range. I just need a number, Bramble.
Far enough that I forgot the number somewhere along the way. Hello, little ones. It's good to be back by your water.
You forgot the number, Bramble. That's not a range. That's a gap in the data. I can't graph a feeling.
It's a long way, Zippy. That's the whole number. Just a long way.
Behold, the wandering bard returns to Shiloh Creek. Friends, clear a space, hush your chatter, for a tale approaches on bristly feet.
Garingo. He's already sitting down. You announced the chair.
A chair worth announcing, Shelley. The bard has chosen it. That makes it a throne.
Is it really a throne? Can I sit on it after? I've never sat on a throne. I'd be so good at it.
It's a log, friends, and a good log, but a log.
A log with history, then? Fine, I yield, but I maintain it was a regal sitting.
Sit down, all of you. This is Bramble, little ones, a storyteller from way out toward the borderlands beyond the creek. He always brings a tale in his pocket. Tell them, old friend. Tell them a good one.
Ooh, is it a fast story or a slow story? Should I sit or hover? I hover when I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna hover.
I'll be so quiet. Watch how quiet. This is me being quiet. Can you tell? I'm doing it right now.
Bongo.
Quiet is the part without the talking. Oh, I love this part. When he says the beginning, everybody gets so quiet.
Story I heard once, out toward the borderlands. Sit yourselves down. This one's about a wall, an old stone wall, out at the edge of a far green field. There were two creatures built that wall long ago, a badger and a mole. The badger took the left half and the mole took the right half, and each one worked away on their own side, stone on stone, day after day, never saying much. But the wall wouldn't finish. The middle kept tumbling down. The badger's stones leaned one way, the mole's leaned the other, and right where the two halves met, it just kept falling. Every morning, a fresh little heap of falling stones in the middle. Then one gray morning, a young rabbit hopped up and looked at the two half walls and the fallen heap in the middle and asked the badger and the mole a question. Which half is the good half? And the two builders looked at the young one, and then they looked at each other, and without a single word, the badger reached a stone across, and the mole held it steady, and together they set the middle. And that morning, for the first time, the wall stood. That's how the tale went anyway.
Ha! Oh, that's a fine one, Bramble, and I know exactly what it means. It's a doing your share story. The badger did his half, the mole did her half. Every creature tends their own patch. That's the lesson, sure as the sun. That's the whole shape of it. Now, while I sat there, pleased as anything with my answer, something small was happening up over our heads. Something I wasn't paying a bit of attention to yet. Up in the big old oak, the new leaves were coming in. You know that oak, little ones? The great big one by the bend, with the roots like old knees. It's the oldest thing at this whole creek. Older than me, and that's saying something. And every single spring, that ancient tree pushes out brand new leaves. Soft and pale, and never been opened before.
I always look for those. The little pale ones. The oldest tree at the creek, and it's still making something it's never made before. I think that's my favorite thing here.
Mine too, little fern. The oldest thing here, still growing something new. It never decides it's done. That's a thing God keeps doing, you know. Growing new green on the oldest wood. And I sat right under it, sure I'd already grown all the growing I had in me. Well...
Wait! Old timber! I don't think that's the whole thing. I was listening real close. I do that. And the wall kept falling, right? In the middle. The badger's side leaned one way, the mole's leaned the other, and the middle just kept tumbling down. So doing your own half can't be the answer. 'Cause they did their own halves the whole time, and it never finished. It only worked at the end when they looked at each other. That's the part. They had to reach across the middle and build that part together. I think the story's about helping each other meet in the middle.
Could be. A tale can have more than one good ending, you know. Some folks hear the doing your share in it, and some folks hear the meeting in the middle. The wall held when they did both.
Oh. Well now. She's right, isn't she? The middle. I told you the badger's half and the mole's half, and I was so pleased with myself, and I walked straight past the part where they had to help each other. I do love being the one who knows the story. I've told 1,000 of them by this water. And just now I said, that's the whole shape of it. Quick as anything, and it wasn't the whole shape at all. And here's the funny, tender thing of it. A little hummingbird heard deeper into that tale than I did. That stings a tiny bit. I won't pretend it doesn't. But I think the sting is just the size of how much I still get to learn. Zippy. Come here a second, little one. Show me. Tell it to me your way. Slow. The middle. The looking at each other. I want to hear the part I went right past. Will you teach me the rest of my own story?
Okay, so picture the gap. The badger reaches a stone across and the mole holds it steady. And that's the stone that doesn't fall, because two of them are holding it. You can't build the middle alone, old timber. Nobody can. That's the whole trick. The middle's a together part.
The middle's a together part. Would you look at that? An old grey head learning a new thing, and glad of it, both for the new thing and the little one who showed me. God didn't make me to be finished, you know. God made me to keep growing. Same as that old oak up there, still pushing out new leaves after all these years.
Wait, so even you still learn stuff? You're the wisest one. If you still get to learn things, then nobody ever has to have it all figured out. That's kind of the best news I ever heard.
Ooh, does this mean I'm a teacher now? Can I have a title? Professor Zippy. No, Dean Zippy. I'll need a tiny desk.
You taught one wall, Zippy. Let's not order the desk yet. But that's the news, Bongo. The wise ones never stop. That's why they're wise.
And lo, the sage is schooled by the hummingbird, a tale of certainty and gentle correction. You know, I find I quite like being wrong when it's done this warmly. Don't tell anyone I said so.
Wait, you're allowed to like being wrong? Okay. New plan. I'm going to be wrong about tons of stuff now. On purpose. No, wait, that's not... Shelley, is that not how it works?
Not quite, Bongo. You stay open. You don't aim for the wall.
That's the best kind of listener there is, you know. The one who already knows 1,000 tales and still leans in for one more. You've still got the best ears at this creek, old friend.
Okay, everybody, gather up. Bramble told a story. Old Timber learned a thing. I got to be the teacher for like 1 whole minute. Best morning. So, what do we figure it all means? I think it's that nobody's ever done learning. Not even the wisest one. You can know 1,000 things and still get one more. And being wrong about a little thing isn't a bad thing. It's just the next thing you get to learn. You only have to stay open. Leave a little room.
And the way old Timber did it, he wasn't even embarrassed. He just got happy about it. I think that's the part. You can be wrong and still be the wise one. You just don't act like you already know everything.
You found it your own selves, and you taught me the rest of it, which is rather the point. Here's the warm little line I promised you. It's from the Bible, from a book called Micah. A man named Micah wrote it down a long time ago. Chapter 6, verse 8. It asks a question, little ones, and then it answers it. Listen. He hath showed thee, O man, what is good. And what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God? Now that's an old, beautiful way of telling us what's good, and what God asks of us. 3 small things. Do what's fair, be kind, and walk humbly. And that last one, little ones, that's the one I learned fresh this morning. To walk humbly just means stay teachable. Don't act like you've got it all figured out, not even when you're the old wise one. Keep your heart open and leave a little room for God to show you something new. Even an old grey head, even me.
Leave a little room. I like that. I'm going to leave a little room. Right after I write it down, in my notes, where I keep the things I'm learning.
Me too. Best news ever, remember? Nobody ever has to know it all. Thanks, Bramble. That was a real good log story.
And now, a true thing, told grandly. Professor Hoot's totally true facts.
Professor Hoot here, with a fact that is completely true. The octopus keeps on learning its whole life long. Show one a jar with a tasty snack screwed up tight inside, and it can learn to twist that lid right off with those clever arms to get the food. Oh, and the more it practices, the faster it gets at it. We have a word for a creature like that, curious. To be curious, children, means to want to find things out. To keep poking at a puzzle until it gives up its secret. The octopus never decides it has learned quite enough. A most admirable habit. Good day to you.
And before we go, 3 frogs, one enormous question. The Mudpuppy Minutes.
Today on Mudpuppy Minutes, and let me just say, we already know everything, so this'll be quick, we will explain, why is the sky blue? Easy for us, we know it all. Go.
Easy. The sky is blue because it's shy. It's blushing. But like the other way, backwards blushing. You blush red, the sky blushes blue. We figured that out ages ago. Nothing left to learn. We're done. Forever.
And also, no, wait. There's no blushing. The sun's light has every colour hiding inside it, all mixed up. And when it comes down through all that air, the air bounces the blue part around the most, so it gets sprinkled all across the whole sky. That's why it looks blue everywhere. Huh. That actually makes sense.
Wait. Splash. You're right. The blue gets sprinkled all around. Huh, so we did not already know everything. We just learned a thing.
Oh no, too sensible. And we do not learn things. We know things. There's a difference. Take it all back. Mud puppies, we have solved it. The sky is blue because it is shy and backwards blushing. And we knew that already. The end. We're still the smartest. No notes.
Now Splash had the right of it before they talked themselves out of it, little ones. The sky isn't shy, and it isn't blushing. The sun's light is made of every colour, and the air scatters the blue part all across the sky. So up it looks, blue from edge to edge. That's the honest answer, true as can be. And here's the little wink in it. 3 frogs so sure they knew everything were the only ones who didn't learn a thing today. So don't be in too much of a hurry to be done. Keep a little room open. There's always one more wonder waiting to come in.
I'll be moving on soon. The borderlands don't tell themselves. But I'll leave that wall story with you. Turn it over now and then. A good tale always has a little more in it than you caught the first time.
Come back soon, Bramble. We'll have new ears for the next one.
Travel gentle, old friend. So that's the morning a little hummingbird taught the old fellow a thing he didn't know, and how glad he was to learn it. So remember, little ones, wherever you go, when somebody small shows you a thing you didn't know, don't you go red about it, just go glad. Leave your heart a little room and keep on growing. Until the next breeze brings us together, my friends.
See you next time, somewhere in Shiloh Creek.